in a quiet corner of the world, far from Silicon Valley's glare revolution, is unfolding. Africa, once overlooked in the global tech race, is now producing 30,000 self-charging cars every single day. While Tesla faces delays and demand dilemmas, a new player is changing the game. Not by copying, but by innovating beyond imagination. This isn't science fiction. This is real, and it's happening right now. The rise of the unseen giants. For decades, Africa was painted as a continent of consumers, not creators. But that narrative is dead. In nations like Zimbabwe, Nigeria, Ghana, and Malawi, bold engineers and fearless entrepreneurs are building cars that don't just move, they redefine motion. At the center of this story is a new breed of electric vehicles. Self-charging cars that don't rely on the grid, don't stop for fuel, and don't wait at charging stations. These cars generate their own power using a combination of kinetic energy systems, solar arrays, and revolutionary energy recycling loops. How they work? The technology explained simply. So, how do they work? At the heart of these vehicles is an integrated self-charging system that combines solar-powered nanofilms across the chassis and roof. A regenerative drivetrain that reclaims energy from braking and movement, and a smart energy management system powered by AI that keeps the power flowing seamlessly. Together, these elements allow each vehicle to travel thousands of kilometers without ever needing to plug in. It's not just an electric car. It's a closed-loop ecosystem on wheels. Who's behind this revolution? One name keeps echoing in this revolution. Maxwell Chikumbutso, dubbed the African Elon Musk. He's a man behind SET Technologies, the company leading this energy revolution. But he's not alone. Across Africa, small teams and agile startups are building on his blueprint, create what some called a new motor triangle spanning Zimbabwe, Kenya, and Nigeria. Unlike Tesla, which centralizes production and controls patents tightly, these innovators are working in open-source fashion, allowing rapid adaptation and mass replication. This is why Africa is now producing over 30,000 self-charging units daily, dwarfing Tesla's numbers. Tesla's response and global reactions. Tesla isn't blind to this disruption. Internal sources suggest that Tesla's R&D teams are actively analyzing the African self-charging models. Meanwhile, global auto giants like Toyota, Hyundai, and even Apple are watching a mix of awe and anxiety. In public, Tesla maintains its focus on autonomous driving and AI-power fleets. But behind the scenes, supply chain constraints, rising costs, and energy dependency are slowing them down. Just as Africa accelerates without external fuel, global investors pouring in. Africa's rise isn't just technological, it's economic. Investment firms from Europe, China, and even Silicon Valley are now pouring billions into Africa's EV future. The World Bank has quietly launched a $2.3 billion green mobility fund focused entirely on African auto startups. Goldman Sachs has just labeled the continent the next EV superhub. The next phase, anti-gravity vehicles. What if wheels were optional? What if roads were a limitation, not a necessity? Rumors that once sounded like science fiction are now being confirmed by leaks and eyewitness footage from Kenya's Rift Valley, where a secretive startup allegedly backed by the African Innovation Trust is developing the continent's first anti-gravity vehicle using what insiders describe as a magnetic propulsion core fused with zero-point energy stabilization. The prototype levitates above ground. No combustion, no friction, and no sound. This isn't about flying cars. This is about unchaining mobility from Earth's limitations. The African Energy Loop, infinite power. But here's the real genius. Africa isn't just transforming transportation. It's rewiring the energy equation itself. Self-charging cars are only one node in a vast decentralized power web where vehicles charge homes, homes feed grids, and communities generate surplus power that flows back into the system. Imagine this. A village where every car, every rooftop, every street lamp contributes to a living energy network. Intelligent, wireless, and autonomous. This isn't the future. It's already being tested in Rwanda and southern Ethiopia. The battle of visions. Tesla versus Africa. This isn't just a competition between companies. It's a clash of visions. Tesla represents centralized innovation, massive factories, giga batteries, and cloud ecosystems. Africa's approach, distributed, open source, adaptable. While Tesla seeks to colonize Mars, African innovators are transforming Earth, solving problems of human scale with real-time impact. And the world is taking sides. Some tech analysts say Africa could leapfrog not just Tesla, but the entire legacy auto industry by 2030. And with production costs 60% lower and labor innovation 3x faster, that prediction no longer feels exaggerated. Human stories behind the tech. Behind every electric engine and solar cell is a human story. Take Amina, a 17-year-old from Uganda who designed her own solar battery hybrid bike to take her siblings to school. Or Mosi, a retired engineer in Tanzania who retrofitted a fleet of minibuses to run on ambient power drawn from city heat. This isn't a movement led by billionaires and suits. It's driven by students, mechanics, farmers, and visionaries who refuse to wait for the future to be handed to them. The new Silicon Savannah. Silicon Valley at Palo Alto. Africa now has a Silicon Savannah, a sprawling interconnected network of innovation hubs rising across the continent. Here, ideas don't need approval from venture capitalists. They get prototyped in backyard labs, accelerated in Pan-African co-working spaces, and scaled in cities designed for clean mobility. And as this grassroots revolution spreads, traditional borders dissolve. South African engineers collaborate with Ghanaian coders. Ethiopian AI startups apply logic systems to Senegalese EV firms. It's a continental brain merge like the world has never seen. Global consequences. What happens when a continent of over 1.4 billion people starts exporting not just raw materials but raw innovation? Already fossil fuel demand from African nations is plummeting. Nigeria has cut oil imports by 45% in just 2 years due to self-sustaining fleets. Fuel giants are pivoting fast, some too late. And as African EV exports grow, first Latin America, then Southeast Asia, the ripple effects will be global. This isn't just a challenge to Tesla. This is a redefinition of power in every sense of the word. The quantum power hypergrid. Africa is about to rewrite the laws of logistics. And it's not using steel tracks or diesel engines. Introducing the quantum-powered hypergrid. An idea so bold most experts dismissed it until the prototype started working. Built on magneto-levitation tech, quantum-stabilized coils, and ambient solar fields. This hypergrid isn't just a railway. It's a living transport system. It connects Lagos to Nairobi in 58 minutes. Cape Town to Cairo in under 2 hours. No wheels, no friction, no emissions. Cut to animated visuals of levitating trains moving silently at hypersonic speeds through tunnels made of electromagnetic containment fields. This is not just faster than the Hyperloop. It's smarter. Each train is AIG guided, powered by clean energy harvested from the surrounding environment, and designed to adapt in real time to climate, terrain, and passenger density. How Africa built it. While the world laughed. When the idea was first announced, the world smirked. Africa can't even build roads, they said. But while they doubted, Africa designed. While the world debated infrastructure bills, Africa printed blueprints using quantum simulation labs in Kigali, Accra, and Lusaka. Funding didn't come from banks. It came from the people crowd-funded, crypto-backed, community-built. And today, while Europe still argues over train strikes and rail subsidies, Africa is boarding the future at 1,200 kilometers per hour. The rise of Pan-African unity through tech. The hypergrid isn't just about speed. It's about unity. For the first time in modern history, a person can travel from Senegal to Sudan without a passport checkpoint, without a fuel stop, without delay. Tech has done what politics could not. It has stitched together a continent. Languages don't divide here. The interface auto-translates in real time. Zulu to Arabic, Yoruba to French, Swahili to English as effortlessly as a train glides across landscapes. Global superpowers now asking to join. And now the rest of the world is knocking. Indonesia, Brazil, and even Australia have formally requested partnership access to the African Hyper-Grid Protocol. Why? Because Africa solved the biggest problem in modern transport: how to move people and goods without harming the planet. While the West built systems designed to last 100 years, Africa built systems that can evolve every 5. Agile, modular, decentralized. The final piece, space-link mobility. But the ground is only the beginning. Africa's next step, a network of orbital mobility towers, suborbital launch systems that connect the hypergrid to Earth's low-orbit transportation ring. In simple terms, packages and people can go from Dar es Salaam to Dubai via space in under 40 minutes. Powered by self-charging plasma drives and carbon nanotube elevators, this isn't just regional dominance. It's global mobility reimagined from the equator outwards. New World Order transport. This isn't about beating Tesla anymore. It's about outgrowing the old system entirely. In this new world, fossil fuel becomes a footnote. Charging stations become obsolete. Airports become museums. And Africa, the continent once forced to follow, is now leading humanity into its most mobile, sustainable age. Think about it. When future generations look back, they won't ask who built the fastest car. They'll ask, who gave the world the freedom to move without limits? And the answer will be written across the skies of Africa. The dawn of a sentient network * at the heart of Africa's transportation revolution. Now lives something alive. Not in the way we once feared AI might be. Cold, calculating, and disconnected. But something human-inspired, emotional, aware. The Bio-Engine Transport AI, nicknamed Shukuru, doesn't just power vehicles. It remembers you, your health preferences, your safety patterns, your mobility needs. It can sing a mother's lullaby to calm a child in traffic or reroute a pregnant woman to the nearest clinic before she even speaks. And it's all powered not by servers in the US or China, but by solar field in Burkina Faso, recycled energy grids in Malawi, and decentralized learning nodes in Congo. The African Future Manifesto *. This isn't about one man. It's not about one company. It's about millions. Farmers who gave up their tractors to build solar carriages. Children who taught themselves code in refugee camps. Mothers who refuse to let the next generation grow up in smoke-choked cities. Africa's transport revolution isn't just about moving people. It's about moving history. While the West debates over carbon credits and emissions timelines, Africa has already done the work, not because it was trending, but because survival demanded it. And now the continent that was always racing to catch up is now setting the global pace. The final word *. So the next time you hear someone say Africa is behind, you'll know the truth. Africa is not behind, Africa is not next, Africa is now. From 30,000 self-charging cars a day to a quantum hyper-grid defying gravity to an AI that moves with empathy and awareness. This is no longer the story of a continent rising.